This is video 2 of 4 for the weekend, and these videos are going to start being for premium only members at volumeprofiletrader.com, just because of the value that we're giving out. We want for those who want to really take the next step and make trading, a complementary income, or maybe your full-time income, to people who are really interested in putting the time in, and it's going to pay for itself 10 times over. It doesn't get much cheaper for the value, so just realize the benefits. And I'll still make a video every night, but it's only going to be a few minutes long, maybe two to five, just covering one name, and it's just going to be for those who are basically watching the market, basically just want a free trading idea. So for those who are interested in membership, I would go ahead and get over there and take advantage of the special, because I just want to not close it off, but take away the sale price to basically start communicating with members and getting to know them more, and to the point where we can really develop not a trading plan, but basically a map for each one of you to take and grow as a trader each and every day, and each and every, for as long as you trade. Hopefully it's for a long time. So anyways, enough of that. I got 21 names here that I want to cover, and I'm going to go through them pretty quick. And starting with Floor, FLR, and this is an energy. This is in the energy sector, and what we're looking at, 2-year chart, sitting right on top of its point of control. I like the major low that it made back in October. I think that matters, and I do like this higher low here. And the only reason why is now we're sitting right at the point of control for the last 2 years. A lot of time has gone past since we last were trading at these levels. We had a rally and a sell-off, so there's a lot of volume that's been conducted. However, bringing it into the 1-hour chart, if we can start trading above this, these recent highs, above 51, which is December's point of control, that should be pretty positive, because remember, the 2-year point of control is right under here. So this could get going, and this could have a nice move up to at least 55, but really looking for a move back up towards 60. So FLR is one. Okay, moving on to Ford. This is a name that I've really liked. I love the fact that it's pulled back from 19 down to under $10. Well, now it's at 11, but at one point under $10, nearly $9. And this is, despite the fact that auto companies are, may not be necessarily, people may not think the economy is great, therefore they're not buying a lot. That's fine, but is that already priced in? From 19 down to now $11, cutting this thing nearly over in half at one point. Now we're sitting on top of the point of control for the year. Getting a decent bounce the last couple of days, but really this recent move where we've bounced off the lows and now we have a higher low. So I think this is a name that you can start getting involved in, and maybe look for a test of, hopefully a test of 1140 to 1150, but we really want to see this thing start going to the upside. And if we bring in the hourly chart, you can see if we clear this, if we start clearing above, we're trading at 1076, that's where we close. Our first target was 1040. We're not far from there, when we're looking at it in context. So if we can start breaking above 1030, obviously we do have some resistance here, just because it's been the high the last 2 times it's came to these levels. So just keep an eye on it. I still, if we start rolling over from the November point of control, from the December point of control, from this composite point of control, maybe be cautious. But I like the fact that we're sitting above the 1-year point of control. I just think it bodes for at least price movement at the beginning of the year for Ford. Okay, Monsanto. This one, we've tried to get involved but had no luck, really. Um, it's just been in the middle of a consolidation pattern all year. I like the fact that we are holding above its point of control, which is, this really big high volume area from 69 to really 71. We want to see this downtrend resistance break up, to the upside, and that will at least bode for, a potential test of at least 74, 75, which would be positive. I mean, make no doubt about it. At this resistance line, every time it's been right to be a seller, and really the right time to be a buyer is around 67, 68. But we want to see if this can make a higher low and make some type of push up towards 74, 75. Looking at the hourly chart, you can see closed below December's point of control. A little troublesome, make no doubt about it. But so long as we hold this level, it could be a potential for a higher low right here, right now, and a move up. But wait for it to develop. It may not. It may not be the best trade, that develops out of these names that I'm pointing out. Okay, kind of staying on that trend, Potash. This is a name that I think you can definitely be looking at for a turnaround. I mean, potentially for a really decent bounce. But love the bounce that we got the last couple of days off this point of control for the month of December. We have a little trouble with November's point of control and also the composite point of control over the last 90 days. It's something to take note of. But if we break, say we break above this trend line, and especially if we print a new high relative to this recent swing high, then we should go up to 46.50 or so without a problem. Maybe even up to 48 to 50. So just keep an eye on it. That's a pretty decent move. Okay, CF Industries. This is the last one for the ag, and we're getting a higher base, which is, potentially a really good thing. But we're getting a higher base above the point of control for the year. It just makes me think that we're at least going to get a move at the start of January. New money being put to work. Whether it's up or down, we're going to get a trade off of basically this 146 to 130, call it 140 level. We're going to get a move one way or the other, probably 20, 25 bucks either way. And that's why I think it's important to, keep an eye on these names. What I'm doing is basically picking names that are by their point of control for the year, because that means that they're probably the most likely to make a bigger move to start the year. Okay, looking at where we are now on the hourly chart, you can see this 148 level is very, very big volume, and then it really gets weak. You can see we haven't closed above that since the beginning of December, so it's not like this is a right here, right now, but it's definitely a watch. We want to see this December point of control hold, if anything, maybe down to 140 again, but we want to see this thing. If you want to be a buyer, or if you believe in this to the long side, you want to see this thing catch a bid. And if we clear 150, then it's probably straight up to 170. Sirius Satellite, I think this is, or Sirius XM, sorry. I think this is a name you keep your eye on. We have this 180 level is just absolutely huge. And I don't necessarily think it's going to be, a killer buying opportunity until we get some type of big move or a solid move up 3, 4, 5, 6% on good volume. You can see the volume has been absolutely, relative to what it was even back in August, September. A lot of volume really going back to May, the volume has really tapered off, and that could be good. That could mean that it goes higher on light volume. But you can see if we do break higher, you have this case for an inverse head and shoulders. The measured move, call it 130 to $2.70 move. That puts you at new highs, but really 220 on the upside looks pretty good. As I pull in the hourly chart, you can see that you see the consolidation that we've had. So long as we stay above $1.80, and if we start pushing up towards $1.90, like I said, I think you can be involved. Okay, U.S. Steel. This is a name that, like, I do not like trading steel or belonging on steel at all, unless if it's to the short side. I've never had a strong thesis for it, and I'm not sure why. Maybe I just don't know enough about the fundamentals, with companies. But I just feel this is maybe a potential opportunity. I like the fact that it's $64 high for the year, all the way down to $18.85. That's a huge move in 1 year's time. And we have this point of control at the bottom of the range where, make no doubt about it, we're in a trading range. And there's no sign that it's going to go higher or lower. But what I do like is if we can get above the point of control, and if we can start pushing up through 30, I don't even think this 200-day matters. I think we're going to go straight up to 40, and that's just how I feel. The light volume that's here, it's just going to go straight through. There's going to be there's no regret here at all. There's nothing, and these people probably already sold, within this move. So this is probably, an opportunity to the long side. To confirm it with the most recent price action, we're trading above November and December's point of control. We closed above that, which is positive. We want to see it make a new high. We have a higher low relative to the lows in December. We want to see it make a higher high. That would give us a bullish sense that we're probably going up towards 28, 29, and trying to, anticipate some type of move where perhaps we trade up to 28, 29, and then we get some higher low and try to move higher from there. That's what I'm trying to anticipate with the with the 1 year chart correlating with this chart. Okay, Alcoa. The only reason I'm covering this name is because it's one of the first to kick off earnings, and what we're seeing, Alcoa has definitely underperformed everything, and that's fine. But what we're seeing is it's back at the lows from October, and I really like this potential setup. It closed strong. I like the way it closed today. Not like it really matters, but I see this thing. I see this as really a potential low, and for a move up towards $9. And if we can get above $9, close above there, we should press another dollar to the upside, and that may be a really good trade. And it would just be going off the thesis that this 845 level, we got double bottom, and now we even got a double bottom on a short-term time frame. And now we have a higher low. You can either put your stop below let's see, what was the low for the day? 859. So put your stop below 850, or 850, which would put you also below the recent swing lows. So, and if it starts pressing up towards $9, watch the price action. Watch to see if it closes above $9. If it does, then look to add some more onto it and look for a move up to 10. Okay, banks, J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. Those are the three I'm going to cover. And the reason why is because I think they present decent trading opportunities, and it's going to be one way or the other. I just have a feeling the market's going higher, just based off of volume profile. That's what it continues to tell us. And even with this lackluster volume, I get it. But, it's still staying bullish, and until it turns bearish, I think it makes sense to be a buyer. So, J.P. Morgan, you can see we've really been basing. We have like this, let's see, we have this double bottom, we have a higher low, and we don't yet have a higher high, but we're looking for one, and you can see this 34 level. You can see the high volume that's been here. Once we get above that, it's up towards 37, and from there we see if we can go and test 40. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's also look at the 200-day moving average continues to move down. So anticipate if we do break above 34, it'll probably be right around that 200-day moving average, and we'll probably get some type of pullback. So looking at it on the hourly chart, to confirm, you can see that this is a very important level. November's point of control, December's point of control, the composite point of control. It's just huge volume up here, and it's going to take this market one way or the other. You can see the August point of control up towards 37, call it 37.40, 37.30. That would be our target if we can break out. We're just going to have to wait and see. You can see that we have a higher low. We're holding this gap. That's good. We just want to see some follow through next week. Goldman Sachs, there's really nothing positive about this except for it's in a similar boat. You have, I guess you could say, a triple bottom, and it's at the value area low for the year. So there's potential for more upside and a test of 105 on Goldman. If we bring in the hourly chart, I like where the point of control for December sits. It's at the bottom of the range. That lets us know that at least we're going to get a move one way or the other, and it's going to produce, potential to make money, and that's the important thing. Right now we're, being at we're the value area low for the year. We're at the bottom of a huge high volume area. We're at the lows here. As long as we can stay above these recent levels, call it, $88 as long, well, let's see. Let's get you the exact price. We want to see it hold 89, really, basically the recent lows here, right around $90. We really want to see it hold that, but if not, maybe we break lower and we have to sell the any kind of rip. So we're just going to have to wait and see, but we're going to move one way or the other. We're either going to make new lows or we're going to push back up towards 100 or 105. Morgan Stanley, this stock has been cut in half, and so we have our huge downdraft, and now we have a low at 1158, a higher low at 13, and now a higher low at 14. We also have, let's see if that's, sure, this looks like a good trend line, whatever. We connect all of the highs, and you can see we're at an important spot on Morgan Stanley, just like a lot of names, just like on the S&P. We have the higher lows and the lower highs. We're going to have to see who stays in control. Look at the 200-day, though. It's moving straight down. We're going to have to look at this on a 60-minute chart to see. So as I zoom in, you can see that the annual chart, year-to-date chart, looks, it correlates with this 90-day chart, and we're right at the December point of control. This call it $15.50 to $15. You could probably put your price, put it like a sell short stop at $14.80 and a buy long stop at $15.70 or so, and you're probably going to make $1 or so to the upside either way. And that's just what this setup looks like. And I want the banks, I want the markets to move higher, because that means the economy is improving, or we're anticipating improvement. But until we see the price action, we are literally just in the crossroads, and we're waiting for the buying pressure or selling pressure to take control. Okay, Alpha Natural Resource. This is something that I'm really interested in getting long. I like what's setting up here, and I like the fact that it's a fast-moving stock. So even if it moves only a little bit, it's still going to make pretty good money. And what I'm looking at here is basically, as I zoom in too much, similar to a lot of names, just a sell-off all year long, and basically a base with the point of control at the bottom of the range. And this point of control, we have a really tight high volume area from 2175 down to 19 or so, and it's pretty good volume down here. You can see definitely compared to the earlier half of the year, the volume's picked up, and it looks like this has a potential to make a run to the upside. You could even maybe draw a little downside resistance, so that's just connecting the, that's a line connecting the 2 points. It's not a trend line or anything, so don't get too excited. But we have a higher low, basically similar lows, and then we got a higher low today. So let's look at the hourly chart. And wow, this, looking at the hourly chart, this looks really, really good. We see 2150, we clear that. It's probably off to the races. I like the fact that this December point of control's underpriced. We have a little bit of resistance at the composite point of control, but really we're looking up at 2150 as true resistance. And as long as price stays above $19.20 or so, I think this is the name you want to be long. So $20.40, minus $19.20, you have $1.20 of risk. So manage your risk in dollar terms. If you're risking $1.20 times however many shares, make sure it's satisfying, because this may not work out, but it looks like it's poised to, and if it does, it's probably going up to 26, no problem. That's a $6 move. That's not bad. And then if we really get going, 29 to 30 on the upside, that's a great move, and you can take advantage of that because you know the price levels that you need to be aware of. This is actually the last name I'm going to cover, only because it's, this has gone on for 21 minutes plus now, and I think this is, I've given you enough trading ideas, along with the S&P. You have 2 more videos coming. One's going to cover currencies, one's going to cover future contracts such as gold, silver, oil, copper. We're going to look at the dollar. I may just combine those, and the euro. And I may just combine that video and just make it one. But let's just finish this one out. Yahoo. I'm actually pretty intrigued by this, and I like the fact that we are above $16. The point of control for the year is at $16. I see this resistance. I see that if we break out from here, not necessarily saying there's been a lot of selling pressure here and everyone that's bought here is now sold. That's probably not the case, but a lot have, and it may give a case to trade back up towards $19, maybe up to $20, but realize that Yahoo's a buyout candidate, and if that's the case, obviously, or I assume they're going to get bought out, at a premium, and why not be involved at good prices? December's point of control, price finished just below that. That's a little, we need to see it move and close above that, is what I'm trying to say, and the reason why is because we want to see strength, and strength correlates with point of control being underpriced. However, we're going to look back towards October's point of control. That's really been a midpoint in this range that we've seen from, call it November's point of control at 15 up to 1650 or so. Not quite that high, but generally speaking around 1630. That's been the top of the range. So we have December's point of control at resistance, and we finished below that. That should signal sell. However, we're only, percentage-wise, it's 3 or 4% of downside, or back down another 60 cents or so below that towards 15. So we want to see this thing stabilize in January and really start making a push higher. It may take a while. It may stay in this trading range. However, if it does, maybe you like covered calls. That's an idea. So I think Yahoo's a name to keep your eye on. It may be a candidate that gets taken out in 2012. I'm not saying that it is or isn't, but if it is, you would like to be a part of it, and I think it's a low beta name that's easy to stay involved with. So actually there's one more name I want to cover, and it's Metro PCS. Okay, this is the point of control is at $13 on this name, and at $13. It made a very nice run higher, and from there it topped out, and then we had a absolute huge flush out day. Where did it open? It opened at $13 at the point of control and got slammed from those levels. And that day was 70 million shares, and it looks like it averages around 4. So that's a lot of selling pressure. And thereafter, you had two of the next highest days at 27 and 34 million shares or so. That's a ton of selling pressure, and that means that all the buyers are, or I should say all of the potential sellers are out of this thing, and we can start looking for a potential move higher. It was up 5% today, and that's a good move, and we want to see a follow through in that. And I see that Yahoo's up, but I'm going to switch it to PCS. And you can see we finished, I like the way we finished December. We had some lower highs. We had a nice little triangle pattern right at the point of control, a breakout. I think this is a buy right here, right now, even at $8.80, $8.70. And I think you have a stop below around around 1830, around the December point of control. Give this thing a little bit of room. Realize that's about 40 cents on an $8 stock. So about 5% downside risk, and correlate that, or I should trade accordingly based on how many dollars you want to risk. But looking at this thing, let me zoom out. If we break out from this range, it looks like we'll go and test $10 plus, and that's a pretty good move, probably around 15-20% move to the upside. So I think it has an opportunity to do that, and the way we finished today could be a good case. So anyways, I hope this helps. Stay tuned for currencies and other future contracts, but like I said, this is going to be for members only, for paying members only who are ready to take the next step, and we're really going to focus on improving trading in 2012 and really making some nice money. So I hope you join along, and if not, feel free to stick along for the free video and hopefully get a trading idea or two that way. So